House of the Dragon is back for season 2. It kicked off this week on Binge and Fox Showcase here in Australia. And if you're a fan of what was the biggest TV show, honestly, in the last 10 years in Australia, Game of Thrones, this prequel series, I'm going to say had a bit of a faltering start in season 1. It had a lot to set up. It is a prequel series, and not like here's the younger characters that we saw in Game of Thrones. We're talking generations before. We're going back to set up really half of the characters that they talked about in history from Game of Thrones are characters in House of the Dragon. The same creative team are behind it, and HBO are just pouring money into VATs and shipping it to Europe to make this program. It is absolutely incredible. I don't think there's a TV show as big as this. There's certainly movies. This would eclipse many movie budgets for sure. Season 2 for mine is newer, better, improved, and it even has a brand new, improved opening credit sequence, which it needed to, because season one's was a bit how's your father after the epicness of what we grew to love as Game of Thrones and its little kludgy wind up keystone kind of situation. This has moved into like a weaving situation, and it works really great. But that's not really what this is about. This is another round of my favorite Flagons, Wagons, and Dragons show, and it is epic in every sense. As you can see from the trailer, there are lots of extras. Guaranteed there is heaps and heaps and heaps of green screen, because dragons don't exist. Sorry to ruin that for you, friends. But also, some of the literal epicness is just as easy to have 30 people turn into 3,000. We're behind the looking glass here, people. War is imminent. There is no question. The whole of House Targaryen versus House Targaryen, those guys. Look, everybody is fighting because, frankly, it is a choice between king or queen. And we met our main protagonist women, one of who claims to be the queen, and her best friend, who is now the mother of the king in King's Landing. So sits the Iron Throne, but of course the queen, that would be queen, king, does not. And so it just bubbles along in this early stages of who's on whose side and what is it going to look like. I put the woman who would be queen versus the man-child king who rules King's Landing. That's pretty much the size of it. And while war is imminent, war is inevitable. I don't think it's unfair in saying that. That's going to be what we're staring down for at least this season, if not the rest of the series. I will offer, Westeros has never been more bold and the beautiful. There are lots of penises. There are lots of boobies, the occasional vagina. Like, it's the standard, Game of Thrones playbook in that regard. It is the kind of drama that moves at a snail's pace, but it couldn't be more luscious, and that's exactly why we love it. Because it does have these moments. The best part is because it's largely these two protagonist-antagonist situation, king versus queen relatives, that it means we're not, part of the problem for Game of Thrones was that it would just jump around the realm, and you could spend half an episode talking to this guy that meant nothing for 3 episodes, and then all of a sudden he dies, or like that kind of stuff. This is still very much those two camps. Very strongly, we know we're talking to these guys, and we know we're talking to these guys, and they are all talking about these guys, and they are all talking about the other mob as well. And there is subterfuge, and there is attempts on people's life, and there is dragon fights, and there's dragons killing people, and the dragons are a big part of it because they all talk about the power that the dragons give them and the benefit and the energy. There is heaps of he said, she said. But that's the nature of the beast, isn't it? And it's definitely House 1 versus House 2, almost like a medieval The Block, for what it's worth. But the interesting thing is, for mine, that I think it is the glory of House of the Dragon that delivers to us what is possible when networks want to throw a gajillion billion dollars at things. We get to benefit from that. Returning in the cast for House of the Dragon, Matt Smith, Olivia Cooke, Emma Darcy, Eve Best, Steve Toussaint, Rhys Ifans, who is, for mine, he's kind of the gold in this. Matt Smith is great. Olivia Cooke is great. They're all amazing. Rhys Ifans is delicious as the Hand of the King, and is really quite good. Nonetheless, here we have a whole bunch of new people joining the cast as well. Gayle Rankin, Freddie Fox, Simon Russell Beale, Clinton Liberty, Kieran Bew, Tom Bennett, and most of them are sirs, coming to fight the wars and doing those things. House of the Dragon Season 2 is 10 episodes long. The first episode premiered this week on Binge and on Fox Showcase. They're dropping weekly, and you can enjoy them Monday when they drop here in Australia, because there's a Sunday night show in the US on Binge on Fox Showcase. House of the Dragon, I'm in. Loving it, sick. I'm getting involved in it. Do it, do it, do it.